Now this is a crossover I can get behind. For far too long, I've seen Mormon movies where they team up with the likes of the Crips, the Charlestown Mob, and the Hells Angels. It's about time that they took on some Italian gangsters. Actually, this is the first Mormon movie I've reviewed on the show, so this is new territory for me. The 2005 comedy Mobsters and Mormons, as seen in this poster that makes it look like they're asking each other which one of them ripped off the Uncle Buck poster, stars Mark DiCarlo as gangster Carmine Beans Pasquale, who goes into witness protection in Utah to live amongst the Mormons and also answer the question, what's the deal with them not drinking coffee? Think of the endless comedy possibilities. Mobsters and Mormons comes from Hailstorm Entertainment, a very popular LDS production company based out of Utah, and they also made the Mormon hits The RM and The Singles Ward, plus the writer and director of the film, John E. Moyer, also wrote those films as well. As the title suggests, Mobsters and Mormons have been chained together in bondage for far too long. Maybe that's why the lead actor in the film was also in 50 Shades Darker. You can always tell a mafia movie by the opening music. If this were any more a mafia movie, they'd be playing I Wonder Why by Dion and the Belmonts. Seinfeld fans may recognize Mark DiCarlo as Alec Berg from the Face Painter episode.
$100 a plate, they cannot pour a decent cup of coffee.
Oh, you and your refined palate for gourmet coffee.
Only Monk's Restaurant has far greater coffee. These are some classic mafia pranks. This kid lifted some jewelry from a heist, so they're gonna make him wipe with sandpaper. Carmine looks like he's either a mobster or he's gonna do a duet with Sammy Petrillo. His wife Gina, meanwhile, looks like she's gonna Susan Sarandon all over this party. Carmine takes a break from torture to meet with the boss Angelo. Wait, that's Terry, the Day's casting director from Friends. This is not the Friends-Seinfeld crossover I was expecting. Bad news, though. Carmine isn't gonna be a mob captain.
I'm making Mickey Vellecci the new captain.
It's because your nickname is Beans. How am I supposed to take that seriously? Anyway, back to the torture.
Why is he in his underwear?
Hey, the tux has got to be back by 6.
He used his mom's credit card. I don't want to see her get stuck with the late charges, so I told him I'd drop it off on the way. It's no big deal.
I think the new Gotti movie may be taking a few liberties. Someone's either watching them or they're taking pictures for the back of the DVD. How did they get that angle? I can't imagine how they're gonna get caught. They take their hostage into the convenience store with them.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm just doing my part to reach out.
That guy doesn't know what you're saying. He's also from Jersey. Oh, and they got caught. Can't imagine how that happened. Carmine is in big trouble.
I could do 20 years standing on my head, boys.
As I'm sure you could.
Yeah, sure. All it takes is for them to say, hey, you know, Angelo might think that you'll squeal. So, to keep that from happening, he squeals. So, now Angelo won't think that he'll squeal? Oh no, he totally does, so they have to put him in witness protection. This guy's easier to flip than a pancake. But here we can meet the whole family.
Rap music. It breeds disrespect like a fungus. Slim Shady Puff Daddy, what is that?
He goes by P. Diddy for short.
For short.
These kids today and their aces of bases and their young MCs, pull up your culottes! Sadly, Carmine doesn't like his new name, Homer Thompson.
You're no longer known as Carmine the Beans. You're now George Linda and Patrick Cheeseman.
Cheeseman?
Your name is Beans. George Cheeseman is a step up. Now they're off to Utah. This is very hard for him, going from a name like Beans that makes you crap to a name like Cheeseman, which constipates you. Right away, everyone is Mormon.
The Mormon Church hasn't practiced polygamy in over 100 years. It's the offshoot groups that still have plural wives.
You would have to shoot me. Having one wife is bad enough.
At least his material's better than Brad Stein's. Plus, there's a church on every block.
Soldiers in the army, there's a bright crown in store. We shall...
Look at the plus side. You move to this neighborhood, and you're automatically a member of the Buttercream Gang. This place comes with the Book of Mormon and slapstick.
It's moving, that's good, it's coming.
More like Church of Laughter Day, Saints. Look, I just got done driving several hours from a convention that was 4 days. I'm a little tired. This is their new neighbor, Michael, played by Scott Christopher of every Mormon movie ever. Michael wants to be the new bishop, so he rats on the current bishop and has to live with a family of Baptists. This cycle never ends. Carmine is an endless supply of complaints.
The government pays $3,000 for a military toilet seat, and you can't pop for HBO? Come on!
Why didn't you just send us to live with the Amish?
Because they sent us to live with the Mormons.
Yeah, same difference.
No, it's not the same difference. That's a completely different going into hiding movie. Already he's fitting in nice.
Hi, I'm Chris Moore.
Oh, no one touches his Dean Martin celebrity roast DVDs. Good, they distracted him with cereal, so he doesn't punch another neighbor for bringing him cookies. We need to bring him more food or he'll punch the paper boy. Worlds are colliding!
I'll get you a beer.
Actually, we don't drink at all.
Okay, well, we got coffee.
We don't drink coffee either.
I'll get you a Coke. I'll get you a Diet Coke, honey.
Some members of our church that choose to drink cola drinks, but Michael and I, we happen to not.
Well, their version of Brad Tries lasted 2 whole episodes before they ran out of stuff to drink. I don't know about those gangsters and their backyard of dead bodies.
Just been thinking, I know what it feels like to be in the religious minority. There I am, suddenly the only Mormon in a high school filled with born-again Christians. I was voted most likely to burn in hell.
Well, then why did you go to Pure Flix High School? Carmine's got to wake up bright and early to steal Tony Soprano's newspaper. If he stood out anymore, he'd be hiding alongside Gaetano Proclo at the Ritz.
You're not gonna come knocking on my door at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, are you?
Why would somebody want to do that?
Come on. That blonde girl I seen walking around, that's your wife? Nice. They got no horse track. They got no lottery. They got nothing up here.
Well, you can take bets on how many fishes are jumping out of the water. For dinner tonight, his foot.
Well, I just haven't seen any black people in Utah. Would you get lost on your way somewhere else?
Can you get my son to have better taste in the hippity hop?
First, you're the Negroes. Then you're the blacks. Now you're the African Americans. Now you're the Tongans. I don't think it's as catchy, but whatever.
Well, good thing he dug himself out of that one. Now talk about fat people.
I have seen some of the biggest, chunkiest people I have ever seen in my life waddling around Utah.
You say that, but have you tried the neighbor's cookies yet? With this being an LDS film, they gotta get a scrapbooking cameo in there somewhere. Carmine's gonna start scrapbooking too. His scrapbook will be nothing but pictures of his gumars with a slice of salami taped to each page. Sorry, not to interrupt you, white boy Rick, but your dad's doing his routine again.
It's sanctioned by the school. They let you do it. You beat the crap out of other kids, and then I don't have to get the angry phone calls at the end of the day.
I think he's Italian. Guess this scene should be over soon.
Brother Cheeseman, will you read us a story?
Who let the kids in? And who are these kids?
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. Antonio, Giuseppe, and Fredo. Antonio, he lived in a straw house.
And then they shot the wolf in the back of the head and turned his bones into a porch swing. The end. Everyone knows Italians can't tell stories without incorporating mob slang and executions. I gotta say, I'm enjoying this Pastor Vinny spin-off way better than Let There Be Light.
Then the pig reaches into his pocket, pulls out his 9mm, puts it against the wolf's temple, bada bing, they blow his brains all over his nice Ivy League suit.
Oh, you thought I was exaggerating? They killed that wolf. Meanwhile, in prison...
So, what's going on with that thing?
I told you, we shot the wolf in the head. Gina is the only one who goes to the Catholic Church, which makes me wonder, what did this place do before the Pascalis moved in? Finally, a mobster who works in lumber, who actually does work in lumber.
You have used one of these before, haven't you?
Yeah, not to cut wood.
He's dismembered so many people. He's still more likable around town than the nosy neighbor.
I thought you should know. The other night I was taking a walk, and I thought I saw Julie through the window with the Cheeseman boy.
Does every religion have a Helen Lovejoy? Out of boredom, he decides to strong-arm those scrapbooking companies. Good. These scrapbookers have been getting away with their hedonistic, lavish lifestyle for far too long.
Mrs. Eastlack, I'm Brigham Smith from Scrapbookers Local 327.
From where?
Scrapbookers 327, it's the local scrapbooking union.
When did this movie turn into an acting demo reel? He gets her to pay $2,000 for not contributing to the Scrapbookers Union and, you know, protection from paper cuts. And what about shopping? What's that?
Could I get a pound of your cup of gold?
I'm sorry?
I just found out what that is from The Sopranos. And does everyone here look like a cousin of John Heder? One thing I do notice about this film is that it is about a community of people being decent to each other. In spite of all the awkwardness, the neighbors are still there for Gina when she's crying in the aisle.
Oh, sweetie. But you've got a wonderful husband and son.
My husband?
If this were a PureFlix movie, they'd use that scene to, I don't know, bash their villain of the week for no reason. He's got nothing else to do. Might as well check out the church in his finest LDS tracksuit.
Time to softly, sweetly glide.
He is going to get laid. What is happening? More like sexual predators than Mormons. Alright, there's a subplot. How could I forget?
Yeah, it's this real special coffee my dad likes. He wanted me to order it for him. He's a freak about this stuff.
Oh, Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas blend coffee isn't that good. I think this guy's whole existence is just reading his own Twitter account out loud to others.
You don't put pineapple on a pizza. It's like putting pepperoni in a fruit cocktail. It's something you don't do.
Why do pineapple on pizza haters care so much? He's out of here. He's gonna go hang out with Silvio and Lilyhammer. Plus, he just saw Busted Loose, so he's got another character to try out.
All we're looking for, quite frankly, and there ain't no way to sugarcoat it, is financial donation.
Another character to add to the reel! And then Bart starts liking the Flanders better. I think I've seen this movie before. Even the dinner conversation here is weird.
You know, I had an uncle. He had a colonoscopy. Turns out it was a buffalo head nickel that he'd swallowed when he was 2 years old.
And that's when we found out that the Will It Fit guy is Mormon. The problem with using a paintball gun on Will It Fit is it really stains the back of your teeth. He better take the call from Agent Tuttle. After all, he's played by the movie's writer and director.
All right, fine. Fine, I did the scrapbooking thing, all right? Big deal.
You're doing scrapbooking? See, that is so cool. This whole going straight.
You're too nice! This is his last mission before he himself goes undercover as, me? But Michael is still very nice to Carmine, despite Carmine insulting him and his family. Michael handles this situation like a real adult Christian should.
There's a saying about Mormons by Mormons, and it says that the church is true. The people aren't, necessarily.
Oh, but I suppose you think you're great at it.
No, George, I don't think anything about myself. I just happen to think that you're a great guy.
Again, why is this movie so nice? I'm used to watching religious films made by hateful people. I didn't know that nice religious movies existed. And with that, he decides to go on the paintball trip with his son and the Mormon community. Once on the trip, this movie has more butt jokes than my show.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Just keep it away from camp.
Oh! I got a fire in the hole here!
All you gotta do is just squat down and scream, and it came to pass! Oh, and, he's Italian.
I want 4 walls, a newspaper, and my toilet seat that plays That's Amore when I sit on it. That's what I want.
Do you really have a toilet seat that does that? Because I kind of want one. It's like the old saying goes, if you play paintball, always have a mobster on your team.
Why are you crying, kid?
Because I want to keep playing.
What's your name?
He's gonna make it quick. 1 ball of paint right between the eyes. I'm surprised it took the movie this long to reference The Godfather.
Hey, what should I do with this?
Leave the gun. Take the granola.
Just like that scene from The Godfather, where Sonny beat up a Mormon and then they paintballed him to death at the toll booth. Not only did they win, but the opposing team is forever located at the bottom of the Great Salt Lake. I just realized that there's a fine line between mobster dialogue and George Costanza dialogue.
You take a pizza, you fold it over, you throw the meat and the cheese inside, you deep fry it, done.
Oh, you mean a calzone?
No.
On the plus side, I now know how to make a panzerotti. Sir, this is a Waffle House. Where did you find these ingredients? And then they spend the day being the only ones in church. Guess we should be wrapping this up now.
This time tomorrow, Carmine Pasquale will be a dead man.
Oh, right. The witness protection plot. Angelo sends the comedy dream team of Peter Berg and Hardy.
Stuff's pretty good. I think they call it fry sauce.
Yeah, it tastes like ketchup and mayonnaise.
This whole movie makes me want mayonnaise. Now he hides in the one place that they instantly find him, Sunday school.
This is a Mormon church.
Yeah, so what?
It's supposed to be some kind of cult.
I read it on the internet. I'm pretty sure actor Joe Maruso is just playing himself, or he didn't change clothes for his IMDb photo. Joey Peeps chasing down people on a bicycle. This is the real reason he was killed on The Sopranos. Even though they catch the 2 hitmen, we still have to stretch this out with some more shtick.
All right, you got this Mormon family, Catholic family, living next door to each other, right? So...
Why are you pitching me the plot of the movie? Not only has the movie been made, but it's almost over. I'm actually happy they're all friends now.
Che trova un amico, trova un tesoro, which means he who finds a friend finds a treasure.
If this were God's Not Dead, he'd convert and then get hit by a car. Well, I was part right. Now they all know the truth about Carmine being in the Mafia. They couldn't figure that out on their own. Ooh, the Achmonics are gonna be mad.
Brothers and sisters, I bring you condolences for this incredible tragedy. Now I have other news.
People are dead! As far as you know, people are dead. Now they're off to Africa. Ever since Book of Mormon, that's typically what happens. But he finds out that people are voting against Michael as the new bishop, so he comes back to help him out. It shows the people being accepting of Carmine as being in the right, and those demonizing Michael for talking to him are in the wrong. Then Michael comes in and shoots them. Maybe they're all kind of right. All of this wouldn't have happened if they just thanked Alec Berg for giving them hockey tickets.
You do have one good thing going for you. Michael James. That guy cared more about me and my family than I did.
This movie has people literally risking their lives to help out people different from them. And it has a side of ranch dressing. I can't get mad at this. Everything works out fine. Angelo thinks Carmine is dead. Michael is the new bishop.
Look at you, the Mormon Jimmy Hoffa over here. Leave a note saying for them to look for you under the goalpost at the BYU Stadium.
And we know where Jimmy Hoffa is buried. They even open up their own scrapbooking store. It's called In Case You Missed It, We're Italian. 'Cause they're Italian. While Mobsters and Mormons is really sitcom-y in its jokes, setup, caricatures, and random predicaments, at the end of the day, it shows a man being abrasive to all those around him, but is still accepted by the community who step up and help him when he's in need. And Carmine, in turn, does the same thing for them at the end, showing the growth of his character and the movie's friendships. The movie isn't a conversion story. Carmine starts Catholic and remains Catholic, and no one tries to coax him over to their side. It's just about people being good, decent human beings and asking nothing in return. I see so many religious movies that could learn a thing or two from a film like this. But they aren't going to. Works out for me, I guess. Gives me endless material. Alright, so that's enough religious episodes for a while, because next week, Musical March in September begins. And this Musical March in September, we'll be spotlighting solid gold rock and roll musicals of the 50s. It'll be the late night infomercials of musicals. Can't wait! I'm tired!
There was an altar boy once, but he left for college.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stonedgremlinproductions. Follow us on Twitter at The Cinema Snob, or check out our homepage at thecinemasnob.com.